Hey everybody, this is Rack Hudson, and I read something very interesting on Forbes.com the other day that I wanted to share with you all. And by very interesting, I mean that it was absolutely fucking infuriating. Alright, so this is the article in question here. A Day at Six Flags and What Theme Parks Are Like Today by Ben Baldanza, contributor in Aerospace and Defense. Dude looks super happy right there to be contributing. You know, that big smile. I like his byline there. Says, I write about airlines and travel to explain this crazy industry. Now, before you start thinking that this is just going to be some kind of GP bashing video, like this guy is so dumb, let me just confirm two things for you. First of all, this article is 100% written from the point of view of a person who is a huge dumbass and knows not a damn thing about theme parks. And if you don't believe me, just wait for me to read it to you. The second thing is that you can't call this a GP bashing video because Ben Baldanza is not GP. He's a member of the Six Flags Board of Directors. So just please keep in mind as I read this to you, like a lovely little bedtime story, that this is not some GP dude on themeparkreview.com. This is a member of the Six Flags Board of Directors. So let's play two fun games. The first fun game is I'm going to point out whenever it's evident that he never actually visited the park during this whole COVID thing. And the second game is we're all going to have a big laugh when they finally make it evident that he is a member of the Six Flags Board of Directors. Alright, let's get this 14 upvotes trip report started. My family and I visited Six Flags America in the DC-Baltimore region for a fun day of riding roller coasters and water slides. After spending the last few months at home, the idea of a one-day staycation close to home sounded good. No plane trip, no hotel, just an easy 35-minute drive. And apparently no favorite attractions either, because I didn't hear anything you're excited for yet, but okay, let's go on. We made our reservation online, as is required so that parks can control crowd size, and this was easy. We could also easily arrange for parking at the same time. The reservation is for the full day, and we were not required to pick a specific arrival or departure time. We planned to get there when the park opened at 11 a.m. Here are the 7 big things I learned on this visit. For those of you who are wondering how far we'd get in before this guy would just tell you a bold-faced lie, we're into the first paragraph, and he's already pretending he had to pay for a ticket and parking to get into Six Flags America, and he's on the board of directors. Cleanliness was evident. All around the park, we saw employees constantly cleaning. Seats on the rides were being sprayed and wiped before new riders were allowed on. Sanitation stations were at the entrance and exit of every ride and also all throughout the park. Bathrooms were clean and an attendant was located at each one to keep it that way. As the park limited attendance, nothing seemed crowded, but there was a very visible sense of cleanliness. Alright, so I'm not saying Six Flags America wasn't clean. It's actually very clean. It is, like, the heart of this is true that, you know, they're sanitizing well there, but they are not sanitizing before people get on the ride. Just the way this is written, you would think that between every cycle they're sanitizing the rides. Well, no, they're doing it, I believe, about on the hour, if maybe every half hour or something like that, but again, we're into the first point that this guy's making, and he's already being really kind of dishonest about how Six Flags is handling this. By the way, the attendant in the bathroom is a person who's literally just chilling in the bathroom. When I went into the bathroom, believe me, I really had to use the bathroom to risk it. He was just trying to just sitting in the broom closet, like in the mop bucket, like as a makeshift chair. I'm guessing he's waiting for something awful to happen, but, you know, just kind of chilling out in the bathroom, watching you pee. It's all good. Anyway, moving on. Masks and temperature checks. Going through the turnstiles, we walked underneath a device that took our temperature and flashed green for each of us. Alright, so no, it doesn't flash green for you. No. I asked the attendant what makes it turn red, and what happens? It doesn't turn red. You just walk through. I'm sure they see if you're red or you're green, but you don't see if you're red or you're green. Because, I mean, you've got like 4 people going through at once. How are you supposed to know if it did have it, if you're red or you're green? But again, this just goes to show that this is a person who got a list of bullet points of what is being done at the parks. And now please write a pretend trip report based on the bullet points that we have written here on how safe you were at this park that you don't have an ownership position in. Just saying. Please, don't make that obvious. Anyway, she told me that it turns red at 100.4 degrees, and if this happens, they ask the person to step into a shaded area for a few minutes. They have found that sometimes, especially after a longer car ride on a sunny day, this can artificially raise one's temperature a bit. After a few minutes, they try again, and if still red, the person is asked to leave for the day. This seems like a practical and customer-friendly way to do this, and I wondered how much it cost, and how quickly they were able to get those temperature scanners installed. My guy, fuck you. You know exactly how much they cost. You know exactly the timeline, the installation. Oh my god, I can't get over it. Oh my god, no, there's more. In the park, masks are required all the time, except for eating. This includes walking around and on the rides, too. Still not mentioned one ride that he's ridden, been excited for, the kids, nothing. We found this not too bothersome, especially compared with spending another day at home. At times, we saw other guests with their masks around their necks, and in almost every case, a Six Flags employee approached them and asked them to put their mask back on. Everyone we saw complied, and in most cases, it seemed like they were just hot. Interestingly, the park offered several mask-free areas where you could go, stay well-distanced from others, and stand under a nice cooling mist. This was a nice touch. Now look, again, I've been to Six Flags. There's been good times. There's been worse times. I don't want to insinuate like they're not trying, because I think that they are very clearly trying despite people out there not wanting to do the right thing. But if you're out there saying that there's like perfect compliance and that people are listening every time they're told to put the masks on, you're just straight up fucking lying. Anybody who's been to a park and has eyes knows this. All right, let's keep going. We got more. Distancing was everywhere and practical. There was good signage and stickers in all the ride queues to maintain distancing, and everyone complied. Again, perfect compliance, you're lying. It's a straight lie at the end. The rides themselves were distanced in a very practical way. The gates you line up in to get into the rides were roped off at least every other one. One roller coaster had 7 cars. Oh, which roller coaster could have been that had 7 cars? How short for the pay per word scale are they that they couldn't afford 2 commas and the word Firebird? As in, one roller coaster, Firebird, had 7 cars and only 3 were filled for each run. This made the queues longer, of course, but with the attendance capped at only about 20% of normal, this balanced nicely, and we hardly ever waited in a line. And when we did, it was short. Alright, first of all, how is attendance capped at 20%? I thought the attendance was capped at 50% or 45% or something like that. This is the first time I've heard 20% cap for Six Flags America. And on that point, aren't you Joe Dickhead who doesn't know a damn thing about this stuff? How do you know the park's capacity, and how do you know that they're operating at 20% of it? What the fuck? Look, I understand that you're lying, but how are you lying this badly? I mean, just don't insult my intelligence while you do it. I get that you're just random GP dad. Random GP dad doesn't know Six Flags America's attendance cap, alright? Anyway, walking around, families stuck together, of course, but everyone seemed conscious to stay apart from other groups. Okay, no, but let's move on. Eating made sense. The many food options in the park offered order by phone app that was easy and quick. This allowed customers to order lunch or a snack while walking to it, and the food would be ready as you approached, or you'd know because they would ping the app. I mean, not how it works, but again, you got a list of bullet points on how it works. You didn't actually go, so whatever. Near the popular food spots were seating areas that had been adjusted for good distance, so it was easy to eat, stay hydrated, and sit down safely. The app worked great. The vendors also accepted credit, so you didn't have to use the app, but most people I saw were using the app. Okay, first of all, you saw everybody using the app. That's weird. Like, stop peeking at people's phones. Secondly, where did you eat? What did you get? What did the kids get? Like a taco, like a hot dog, a hamburger, some pizza, like anything, nothing. Did anything happen on this trip? Did anything happen on this trip? Are you real? Is your family real? Is this real? Guys, I'm starting to suspect that none of this is real. Alright, we're getting close. Let's keep chugging. Do the 6. In addition to all the features mentioned above, Six Flags has branded an idea they call Do the 6. shown on signs and blasted audibly throughout the park regularly. The 6 to do are wear your mask, wash your hands, cover your cough, keep your space, sanitize often, and have fun. My wife thought that number 6 should be have fun and tell your friends. I like that idea too. But the do the 6 messaging seems smart to me, and the constant reminder sent a message that the company cared about safety and wanted everyone to stay safe while having a good time. I think what else is sending a message about the company caring about people being safe and having a good time is this native advertising you've planted in Forbes magazine. Alright, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're almost there. Some of these adaptations will last after COVID. The online food order is an obvious candidate of good service, and that will exist even after the virus risk is long gone. But the sanitation stations and overall cleaning is also likely to stay, as this makes sense and will protect for less risky airborne and surface-sitting risks as well. Like many things in life today, things adapted to stay safe for the coronavirus will end up being smart business for the long haul. Well, great. Thanks for the insider information, Mr. Guy, who is simultaneously related to nothing whatsoever with this park and also literally on the board of directors. Thanks for letting us know all of this wonderful future information. I'm actually kind of hype about this. Like, I don't want to be too angry about this. Like, it's kind of cool to know that they'll still have the sanitation stations, everything. Like, kind of like washing my hands now and then, so that's good. Yeah, I'm not so mad about this one, even though still really unethical way to do this. That's not good. Okay, this is it. You've all been very patient. A perfect staycation option. Other theme parks in the country are starting to open, including Disney, and I don't know exactly what other parks have done. Yes, you do. You know exactly what they've been doing. But I imagine they have done similar, if not identical, things, and I can't think of a better way to spend a day with the family while we're still mostly in hunker down mode. It's outside, there is a lot of space, the rides are fun, the food was good, and it was very easy to keep sanitizing, staying distanced, and be protected with masks. Even if you don't like the fast and high roller coasters that our son loves, and I apparently am unable to name because I don't love my son that much to follow his interests that closely, there are many other options at the park, and the attached and included water park made it easy to cool off with a water slide in between the coasters. You're not going to the water slide in between the coasters. I'm just saying, that's really inconvenient. Anyway, not all theme parks are open, as park opening is dependent on state rules for gathering. But if there is an open park near you, grab your face covering and go have a great day. At a Six Flags park, please, I need the fucking money. And that's it. That's all of it. Been very wonderful playing these fun games where I point out where it's obvious he didn't go to the park. And also the fun game where we were to point out when they made it clear that he was on the Six Flags board of directors, because that never happened. They never mentioned it at all in any kind of way. Anyway, go to Six Flags America. Don't get COVID. Bring our stock price up. Please.